Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Complete Wedding Podcast. My name is Damon with Complete Weddings and Events. Today, I am very happy to be joined by Mira Hightower. She is the owner, the founder of Heather Hightower. They do incredible designs for shoes, for handbags, for sunglasses, a lot of different items. So I'm really, really happy to be joined by her. And today, Mira is going to be talking about everything from how to find the perfect shoe for your wedding, to what her superpower is, and everything in between on how she got started and what her favorite emoji is. So welcome to the Complete Wedding Podcast.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Apologize for keeping you in the waiting room so long. I was literally at like 11:56. I had a client call, was like, hey, we want to give you money. And I'm like, okay, hold on. What do I do?
That call.
Right, exactly. So how are things over there? I see you're in your car. Is that just to get away from the noise, or are you in transit?
It's to get away from the noise. I have people at my house, and then I have people at my studio, so I don't have anywhere to be by myself.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate you putting yourself out there and sitting in your car for a little bit to talk to me. The first thing I want to do is, of course, I want you to tell me who you are and the name of your company.
All right. My name is Mira Hightower. My company's name is Heather Hightower. And who I am, I'm a shoe designer, but I also design handbags, clothes, accessories, belts, all of that. I learned to do all of that by trade in school. Also DIY shoe event where ladies come and they design their own shoes. Usually they do it for birthday parties or just a fun girls' night out. They come to my studio and they design their own shoes and they take them home with them that night. So that's what I do. And then I also another business I also design and consulting. So I have women that want to start their own shoe line, and I help them through the process. And I help them either guiding them through the process, or I just really just do the process for them. They don't do anything, and I just do the process creating their own shoes, handbag, clothing line, etc.
And I'm curious, you said the name of the company is different than your name. Why what's the name of the company again?
The name of the company is Heather Hightower. And what happens is people tend to just call me Heather. So I just go by Heather. Like I can go to an event and I can introduce myself as Mira Hightower all day and people will still call me Heather. So sometimes I just say my name is Heather just to make it easy for people, because they're still going to call me Heather anyway. So that's kind of why. There's a cute little story. It's a sad but cute little story behind why I chose the name Heather Hightower, but that's the name of the company.
Okay, and would you care to share the reason why you called it Heather Hightower?
So the reason I call the company Heather Hightower is because when I was born, the story starts off sad, but it doesn't end sad. So when I was born, I was born at 7 months. They had to take me from my mom. They were like, we're gonna lose both of you, so we have to take her out. So my mom was in a coma when I was actually born. So my dad did not want to tell my brother that my mom was in a coma. So he gave him a book and was like, here, go name your sister. Go pick your sister's name. My brother picked my name, Mira. And when my mom woke up, I was already named when she woke up. And she was like, no, her name was supposed to be Heather. Why is her name Mira? So that's the story behind the Heather Hightower. So when I was bouncing ideas and trying to think of a name for my company, I said, I'm going to go with Heather Hightower. That's what my mom wanted me to be named.
Okay, I like that story. Are you and your brother close?
Yeah, we're kind of close. He's older than me. He's a lot older than me. He's 11 years older than me, but we're close. He lives in Jacksonville, where I'm originally from.
Okay, and does he have anything to do with Heather Hightower?
He actually just started his own line of T-shirts supporting policemen. He's been a policeman for 25 years. Oh, wow. So he just started his own line of T-shirts supporting policemen.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Well, tell him that we all said thank you for his service. for sure.
I will. I
Especially
will.
nowadays. I know it's just crazy. Well, that's another interview for another day of, but definitely appreciate his service for sure.
Yes.
So one of the things that you talked about,
Yes.
which we will get into later, I in preparing for this interview, I did do a lot of research on the company, and I did want to talk about designing with a twist. So I did see that. So we'll talk about that a little later. But
Okay.
when people, I guess, what is one misunderstanding that people either have about the industry or about you that you want to, I guess, clear up?
I would say I'll give you two. I'll say one, people have a misunderstanding about me that I might be unapproachable. But I'm not. I'm very, I'm very, I speak to people before they speak to me. I got that from my mom. I talk to anybody anywhere, and I can make a conversation and make friends with anybody anywhere. So that's really cool. And people sometimes don't want to ask people questions when they're in an industry, and people feel intimidated by just reaching out to other people and just simply asking them questions and things like that. And I would prefer that people just reach out and ask me questions about shoes and what you want to do and things like that. Let's just have a conversation about it. And then I would also say a misconception about the shoe industry is that people think that they have to put out all this money. I get told that all the time. People think they have to put out all this money to start a shoe line, and you really don't. If you know what you're doing, or you have someone that knows what they're doing, you don't have to spend a ton of money. You can do it for a moderate cost.
There's a lot of different things, I guess, a lot of hats that you wear.
Mm-hmm.
Designing shoes, is that like, I guess, the main bulk of it? Or I know you do handbags, I see the sunglasses on there, so you have a lot of different items that you design. What is the majority that you would say takes up most of your time? Is it the shoes?
Shoes.
Okay.
Shoes is that's my first love, and that's what takes up the most time.
Okay. And so if you had a superpower to help you design shoes, what would that be?
Oh gosh, if I had a superpower to help me design shoes, I'm gonna say the superpower would be from the time that it takes to get them from the factory in order to production to actually getting the shoe in your hand. Like I would like do some type of fast forward, like instant thing where I could send them an email with the shoe and the design in it, and then they could turn around and send me that shoe done, completed the next day. Like that would be my superpower for shoes.
And how long does it normally take then?
Yeah, it can normally take 30 to 45 days to get a production run done. And then, depending on your shipping choices, you can get them shipped to you in as little as a week and a half, or, it can take 45 days for shipping to get to you as well.
Wow. So 3 months if it takes 45 days for the design to be made, and then 45
Right.
days for shipping. So 3 months, and then in the fashion industry, that could be, death, right? Because by then the fall line has come out or
Right.
whatever, right? Wow, that's crazy.
Exactly. You have to work so far ahead because, and then you add in the sample time too. You're not even talking about the time that it takes to actually perfect that design to where now we're ready for production. So that can be a 2 to 3 week process to actually just get that sample done and get it shipped to you, and for you to say, okay, I like it, or no, change this, do that, so yeah, it can be quite time consuming. So you have to work very far ahead.
So maybe patience should be your superpower.
Uh, yeah, I learned that. I learned that early on. I definitely learned that early on.
Okay. Um, so who is your favorite designer or your style icon? Who would that be?
Style icon or favorite designer? I'm gonna say favorite designer. I would say Dolce and Gabbana would be one of my favorite designers because they're kind of similar to what I consider I do, which is classic with a touch of eccentric. So that's why I would say I like them. They're most relatable to me.
Okay, and that's bags and shoes, like everything, their full
Yeah,
line. Okay.
yes, bags, shoes, everything.
Okay. And how did you get started?
I got started by, I took a leap of faith and I moved from Jacksonville. It's been about 16 years ago. I moved from Jacksonville and decided I'm going to go to fashion school. So I came down here against everyone else's judgment and came down here and just moved to Miami, no friends, nothing. I moved with one friend from Jacksonville and I came down here and just started fashion school and went to school, got 2 degrees in fashion, and then I started my line. I just kind of just jumped into it. You know, I had a teacher that was helping me at the time. She was kind of mentoring me just a little bit, and then, but even then, she wouldn't give me the help that I really wanted and needed. She wouldn't give it to me, and so I kind of just had to Google it and get it popping.
Now, do you think she didn't want to give it to you because you were getting ahead of yourself, or because she didn't want competition?
I think it was the latter, honestly. I think she didn't want the competition for some reason. I don't know why, like,
Hmm.
but I think it was the latter. I think she didn't, I could feel that she genuinely didn't want to help me. And that kind of made me shy away from asking people to help because I was like, if I can't ask my professor to help me, then who's gonna help me? So I just said, all right, girl, you better help yourself.
There you go. The second best teacher, Google, right?
Yeah, right.
Google and YouTube. Those are
Yes, Google and YouTube University.
for
That's
sure,
it.
for sure. So I do want to get into designing with the twist. When I saw it, when I was doing my research, I'm like, wow, this is an awesome concept. How come I haven't seen like a million people doing this like they do with wine and paint, kind of thing. Like this is
Yes,
freaking awesome.
yes.
So if you can just talk to me and I guess describe what designing with the twist is, how you got the concept, and what people can expect.
So when I started designing shoes, one of the things that I really liked doing was having pop-up events and having events where I got to actually meet people and doing trade shows and things like that. So I was trying to think of something that I could do where I could actually just meet people and have fun with the ladies. And that was always like those were always my best moments in shoes and in the fashion industry in general. So I was trying to think of something that I could do and share my love. I like to teach, so I was like, what can I do to share my love? So the idea was kind of just born, and then came up with the concept, and it's something that it's taking legs, and I love that the women, every time the women come, they enjoy it so much, and I get so many compliments, and they're like, this was so much fun. And it's kind of interesting, the last event that I had a lady that she was quiet the whole night. She didn't hardly say anything. She was very quiet the whole night. And at the end of the night, she pulled me to the side and she said, I had so much fun. This was such a great night. And I was like, wow, like that really meant a lot to me from her because she didn't say anything the entire night. So I was like, I didn't even know she was having a good time. She didn't say a word the whole, people were loud and dancing and everything. And she was the one that pulled me to the side. So that made it really, really special. But the concept is the women come and I provide the shoes and the supplies and everything. I give them some general direction. I don't give them too much direction because I love to see what they come up with. It's all about their creativity and what they come up with. And they've come up with some amazing designs that they just blow me away. And they come to my studio, they design. I have like a little bit of light bites and I give them wine and champagne and they just have let loose and just have a good time. We get the music pumping and they just let loose and have a good time.
Yeah, and just to I just want to clarify that design with a twist is similar to the paint and wine parties that you see a lot of people are doing. Obviously, it's with shoes, it's with designing, but like I said, when I saw the concept, I'm like, man, that is that is so cool. Like, you need to have some tennis shoes in there so I can get it popping for as well. So,
I know. I've been thinking about doing. I've been thinking about doing a men's version of it. Just not sure how men are really gonna take to it. I
mhm.
have done a kids version. I did a teenage version of it. So we did do sneakers for the teenagers. That was pretty cool. They had a good time.
I think maybe not a men's version of it, and obviously it's your business, so don't don't let me tell you how to run your business. But like with the wine and paint parties, a lot of times it's couples. So you have like
Yeah,
I mean, come on, I'm not going to grab my boys and be like, hey, let's go make some tennis shoes,
right,
right? But if my wife was
right,
like, hey, come with me for date night, and then you did a date night, and you had a pair of tennis shoes, you had a
right.
pair of high heel shoes, and maybe that would that might work.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking about. I've been thinking one thing about it is the women can make the men come. So
For sure.
that was my concept in thinking about getting the men to come. That's the only way the men are coming is when the wife, the girlfriend says, "We're going out tonight." And this is what we're doing.
Yep. Yep, for sure. Because I mean, the guys don't just come out like, "Hey, we're gonna go paint and drink some wine." The guys are like, okay, honey,
Yeah.
yes, dear." So, but like I said, I really, really love that concept. When I saw it, I'm like, "Wow, this
Right.
is pretty dope." What is one thing that you wish you knew in the beginning of your career?
What's something that I wish I knew when I first started? Uh, I wish I knew. That's a good question. One thing that I wish I knew. I guess I would say more about the timing of how I was saying, like the shipping of the shoes and how long it takes to get them back and things like that. I had no idea about any of that. So I wish that I knew more about that than I also wish I knew at that time more about negotiations and more about getting exactly what I wanted from a manufacturer. That's what I wish I knew then. I know now, but I wish I knew then.
Thousands and thousands of dollars later, right?
Exactly. Absolutely. Exactly.
Okay. Um, so what I want to do now, this is obviously the Complete Wedding podcast, and so what I want to
Mhm.
do is I want to talk a little bit about weddings, give some value to the brides out there that are planning their wedding. So
Mhm.
for somebody who is, I guess first, have you ever designed any shoes for a wedding?
I did do some sneakers for my best friend got married a couple of years ago, and I did do her sneakers for her to change into after the ceremony. I did do her sneakers for that, and I'll likely be designing my shoes. I recently got engaged
Well,
a
congratulations.
couple of months. Thank you, a couple of months ago. So I'll likely be designing my shoes for my wedding.
Okay, so we're gonna segue a little bit. Tell me about the proposal.
It was a very simple proposal. It was just the two of us. Very unexpected. I was totally shocked, and that was it. It was just the two of us. It was very, very simple.
And so you were totally floored. You had no idea it was coming, like nothing in the back of your mind.
No, nope, no idea. Totally shocked,
Okay.
which I didn't think I would be, but yeah.
And who is the first person that you called?
My best friend.
Okay. And
Yeah, my
what did she
best
do? Did
friend.
she scream? Did she cry? Did she like about time?
Yes, all right, all of the above. Oh my
Okay.
gosh, that's so awesome. Oh my gosh, like she thought she was gonna have to put the hammer down on him and let him know like it's time. And I'm like, no, Bessie, you don't have to do that yet. You don't have to put the hammer down yet. You don't have to tell him yet. But she was totally shocked. She was like, oh my gosh, she was so excited.
Good, good. So you're going to design the shoes for your wedding. So then
Yes.
somebody who's looking for the perfect shoe, then what advice would you give yourself, or would you give somebody who's trying to come up with like the perfect shoe for their wedding?
I'm gonna say to come up with the perfect shoe for your wedding is pick the first thing you should do is pick the perfect height of your heel. What height heel are you comfortable with in being in all night long? Or, are you gonna switch shoes for the ceremony and for the reception? Like that's what I would say, pick that perfect heel height first.
Okay. And so your shoe game is pretty tight. So I'm pretty sure you're going to go 3 or higher.
Yeah, I'll probably do a 4 or 5 inch heel for the ceremony,
Okay.
and then I'll probably switch into something else for the reception.
Okay, gotcha. So if you're going to do that high, then I'm assuming you're not going to do a beach wedding. So that's
No, 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 no beach. I
okay.
can't do that on the beach.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, 4 or 5 inch heel. That's what's up. Okay, so then what?
Yeah.
I think you might have covered this already, just with picking the right height. But what mistakes do you have you heard of or seen people make when picking a shoe for their wedding?
Uh, that's the main mistake is picking a heel height that you're not comfortable in, because some women are just not comfortable in heels, period. And so you don't want to feel pressured that you have to pick a heel that's super high for your wedding just because it's your wedding and you feel like you're supposed to be in a heel. You can walk down the aisle in any pair of shoes that you want to, like you don't feel pressured that you have to pick a super high heel or that you even have to pick a heel. If you're comfortable in a sneaker, a jeweled out sneaker, or blinged out sneaker or something like that, do what's comfortable. It's your day. Like, be the brat, be the bride, do what you want to do. And don't be afraid to break the rules. There are no rules when it comes to your wedding. Like, it's your day. It should be about everything that you 100% want, no one else, you. I mean, of course you got to take the groom into account at some point, but
Oh, yeah, right.
everything else should be 100% what you want for that day.
So what about breaking in your shoes? Is that a good idea, bad idea, or?
Definitely break them in. Definitely break them in. Walk around the house in them, a week before, put tape. You can put tape on the bottom of them so you don't mess up the bottom of the shoes, walk around in them in the garage, just so you walk on the sidewalk and things like that. So yeah, definitely put tape under the bottom of the shoes and walk around in them in the house, around the house, take the trash out in them, anything before the wedding day. You do not want your wedding day to be the first time that you put those shoes on your feet. No, not at all.
And then are there any other, I guess, how do you break in the shoe? I mean, I don't wear high heels, so you can enlighten me a little bit.
Just wear them. Just wear them for a week and a half. If you're not comfortable in heels, wear them for 2 weeks, a month prior to the wedding, around the house. Just get comfortable in them. Like, you want to be comfortable in those shoes the day of. You don't want those shoes to feel like new shoes or new toys the day of the wedding. You want to be as comfortable as possible. Everything else is already going to be so, crazy going on around you. You want to be as comfortable as possible on your.
Sorry, I broke up a little bit, but I did get the gist of that. What about switching out your shoes? You mentioned that. I know a lot of people do that. Is that something that you're going to do? Is that something that you suggest that that brides do?
I'm definitely going to be switching out my shoes. I don't know if I'm going to switch to a sneaker or not. I might just switch to a lower heel, but I would definitely suggest it, especially if you're a bride that's not comfortable in heels. I would definitely walk down the aisle in a lower heel. And then for the ceremonies, I mean, for the reception, switch into a sneaker that's going to be comfortable for you, because you want to be able to boogie all night. You want to be able to dance. You want to be able to walk around and greet your guests and, say hi to everybody and take pictures. And you don't want to have to think about those shoes and, oh my God, my feet hurt. You don't want to think about that all night. And you don't want to walk around barefoot either, because that's not cute unless it is a beach wedding.
Okay. So what about the gowns that basically they have the long train, you really can't see the feet. So what's the purpose of wearing a heel if you can't see the shoes anyway?
Just to make your outfit complete. Heels always make the outfit complete. If you're a taller girl, you have the option. You don't have to wear the heel if you're a taller girl, but us shorties, we like the option of adding those 4 or 5 inches to give us that height. So, that's the point of wearing them under the gown, under the gown. So, but you just want to complete the look. So that's the point of wearing the heels. You got to the shoes complete the look.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand. All right. So I guess anything else as far as weddings are concerned before we switch gears? We only have a couple more questions, but any other wedding advice? Okay, let's talk wedding just for a second then. When did you get engaged?
The end of July.
Okay, and gotcha. And so, as far as like planning your wedding, what are some things that you had no idea were going to happen? Obviously, don't say COVID, but other than that, something that you had no idea, like, oh wow, I didn't know that that you had to go through this. I didn't know that this was this expensive, or I didn't know that or whatever it is.
What was it? It was um I'm gonna say like just the whole like down to the plates on the table. Like, I really didn't realize, that that was a thing. Like that, I have to get a package to cover the plates that I want on the table. I didn't know that, and then in planning, helping my best friend plan her wedding, I was like, oh my God, like you have to pay for this? Like that's something that you have to, that doesn't come with the space, like, or something like that. And she's like, no, like you got to pay for all of that stuff is extra.
Mhm.
I guess I just didn't realize that there were so many things that were separate that you have to pay for, that I would assume that you could get all this stuff in a package and it would
Mhm.
just be a done deal. Like give me one set price and let me pay for everything at once in a package, and I
Mhm.
would be good to go with that.
Right, I got you. So like like you get the venue and you get the caterer, and
Hmm.
then all of a sudden I have to pay for the plates, the chargers, the forks, the knives, plates.
Yes, the
Right,
chargers, the
right,
forks and knives, and all
right,
of that stuff. I'm like, what? You got to do all of that?
right. Where is the wedding going to be? Did you already pick the place?
I
Oh,
haven't picked a venue yet. I'm looking at a few places. I'm looking at the Hollywood Beach, not Margaritaville.
oh,
I'm
Margaritaville. Shout
looking
out to
at yeah,
Margaritaville.
I'm looking at Margaritaville. That's one that's on my list right now. My best friend got married at the Addison. They were
Shout out to
exceptional.
the Addison.
They were amazing. Like
Hmm.
the attentiveness and the service that they gave. Oh my gosh, they were top notch. They were top notch. So, but I haven't picked a place yet.
Okay, gotcha. Well, familiar with both. So if you do need to, I guess, bounce some stuff off of me, I work with pretty much every venue in here. So just a little side note. Um,
Awesome.
so I want to get back to shoes a little bit. Like I said, I only have a couple more questions and we'll get you out of here. I know you're a busy lady, so I appreciate the time you're taking. Of all of the stuff that you've designed, what is your favorite item, whether shoe, handbag, whatever it is?
All the stuff I designed. My favorite item, I'm gonna say it's my Riri shoe. I did it in two different styles. I did it in it's like a purplish pinkish color, and then it's in a floral pattern. The floral pattern, the ladies went crazy for it. Sold out completely. And the pinkish purplish one is just super cute. It's a metallic print. It's super cute. And I'm gonna say those are my favorite two styles. I named it after Rihanna because I love Rihanna. So that's my favorite shoe.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I was on your site. I like graphic. I really like the
Uh-huh.
design of that. I like the way it's almost like it's painted on there. It's
Yes.
very unique. So I really like that shoe. On a
Yes.
side note, I was very disappointed that I couldn't order your caged in shades because I was going to pick those up, but it was like not
Uh,
available. I'm like, come on,
yeah.
how come I
Yes, those are sold out. Those went quick
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Well, if you ever get any in, just put
Mhm.
a pair aside
Put
for
them to
me,
the
and I'll
side
definitely be
for you,
rocking those for sure.
for
My
sure.
my shade game is on point. I like to think so.
I love shades too. I'm a
Yeah, for
shades girl.
sure.
I love shades.
So, what's something you can't live without?
Wi-Fi.
Hmm. I think enough said there. So, like I said, a couple more questions. What is the biggest surprise, good or bad, that you found during COVID?
Biggest surprise, good or bad? That's a really good question. Biggest surprise, good or bad? Mm, I'm gonna say people, good and bad. That's been my biggest surprise during COVID is to I think one of the best things about COVID is that it gave us a chance to really find out who people are, good or bad.
Hmm. So you get to know more people, and then the more you know
Yes.
about some people, the more you don't want to know about those people, right?
Right.
All right, enough said on that one. What is your go-to emoji?
I have three. I have the crying laughing face. I cry laugh at everything. Uh the double hearts, the pink, the big and the small heart. I double heart everything. And the dancing, salsa dancing lady emoji. I dance at everything.
Let's see the
Yeah.
pose. Let's see the dancing lady pose.
She's like, she dances at everything. I love that emoji.
Uh, so then what I want you to do is I want you to say the name of your company, where people can find you, social media, website, whatever it is. We'll put it all down below, but I want you to tell everybody how they can find you when they want to find you.
All right. So to find me, you can reach me on Instagram. You can reach me at Heather H Miami. You can also reach me at Designing with a Twist on Instagram. And for the World Wide Web, you can reach me at heatherhightowermiami.com and also at designingwithatwist.com.
Well, Mira, Heather, thank you for taking a few minutes to chat with me and telling the world about who you are. Definitely, if you guys get a chance, blow her up and get Designing with the Twist again. Start it back up so we can actually get a lot of people in there. Designing with the Twist looks like so much fun. Also, email her and let her know that she needs to do a couples day where it can just be the tennis shoes and the high heel shoes, so that way we can get me in there. So again, thank you
Yeah,
for.
that sounds good.
So thank you for taking a couple minutes to chat with me, Mira. Enjoy the rest of your day. You're really close to me, so I might swing in one day, say hi, if that's okay. And
Yes.
other than that, you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.